Well, hello there.
Hey. It's crack lacking.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Who's on here tonight?
We got Thomas. We got, let's see, we got Wampus, Crazy Witch, Rebecca, Keeper,
Bones.
Standing, yes.
Aussies in the house.
Yeah, we got quite a few starting to trickle in. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas and Roger Blair, everybody. Wampus, you might as well go ahead and grab your headphones. You may need them. Just be prepared. Keeper, True Crime and Paranormal. Welcome. Turn black twice. I just watched on replay. Wild, right? Oh, Lord. So, yeah, so earlier, Chris, I don't know what I was doing. I held a doll in front of the camera and my background turned black. I was like, the doll was missing the arm. Yeah. So that was very interesting. And then on one of the shows, I held up my crucifix, right? Because everybody wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And my camera went out. I was like, what?
No way.
So I took it and I pulled it away. The camera came back. I'm like, what? So I put it back and the camera went back out. I'm like,
maybe
on.
an autofocus or something possibly doing that?
No, it went black. It went black.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I said, crazy. Rebecca. I know it. So what we got going on tonight?
Well, if you remember where we left off last week, we kind of threw it out there to see what people wanted to talk about, and Standing Stones brought up Bigfoot audio calls and Bigfoot sounds, right? I don't know if that's a Bigfoot sound, but something like that. Never know what they sound like, right? Well, they do tend to mimic things as what we're seeming to find out, and we've heard even Randy talk about them mimicking every sound. He was playing with that juvenile, and he'd make a meow sound, and it would meow, and he'd make a dog, and it'd bark with him.
Right.
So they can apparently do that too. So we definitely got some audio tonight that's going to be fun to listen to. If you got some headphones, grab them, or something that you can hear better than, say, a phone audio. Phone speakers usually suck. So that's just my opinion on it. But I'm an audio tech guy, so that's that's my opinion at least. But you'll still be able to hear everything, even if you don't, or if you want to go back and watch it, then that'll work too. But we got some good stuff. I've got some old stuff that we've probably played before on Breaking News. I got some of Barb's, a few of hers that I've cleaned up from her porch. She played one the other day from a friend of hers, Jack from Oregon, that is incredible. And I cleaned it up, and it'll be the first time it's getting played. I haven't even shared that out to anybody. But it's like you heard it when you played it the other day, and now you can really hear it. It's pretty wild. I would say it's substantial and probably just as incredible as the Sierra sounds, as everybody knows. So definitely looking forward to hearing that. And what else we got over here? Yeah, I got a couple other stuff. We're going to talk about some of the hoots that we heard. And there's a time we went out, we had a guest come by, and we actually went out on a little field trip with our guest. He's a podcaster, and he does Skinwalker Ranch, and he does he basically like recaps the episode. Skinwalker, he does Finding or Expedition Bigfoot, and he does something else. I believe it's Curse of Oak Island or something like that. But anyways, he's a pretty good podcaster. So he went out on a field trip with us, and then there was a situation that occurred that was pretty neat. It was like all these birds came out, and you've heard of tattletale birds, right?
Right.
where a bird will follow you or start squawking, like they're kind of telling on you. Well, this was like tattletale birds on steroids. It was crazy. It was weird. Something was going on, and when you hear the audio, you'll kind of get the feel for it. So I wanted to share that tonight. Anyways, let's see where I'm going to try playing some of this audio to see how it works out.
All
And
right. Sounds good.
if it doesn't, then Grizz has got some access to it. So I have no idea if it's going to work.
How did I want to walk around the woods and hear Bigfoot playing an harmonica, ladies and gentlemen? Are you serious?
Harmonica. That's a different one.
Yes.
Bigfoot out there strumming the harp or something, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, so let's see if this share will work. Well, that's the one I want to do, but
Now, if I ever heard a fiddle out in the middle of the woods, I'm thinking about the what is it? The fiddle and the
Deliverance.
devil.
Oh, I'm thinking Deliverance.
No, I'm thinking the fiddle and the devil. Sold my soul. The golden fiddle.
Mm-hmm. It's Charlie Daniels.
Crazy, you think everything's hilarious. I am gonna sneak around your house. And when you're sleeping, I'm gonna get 2x4s and bang the hell out of the side of your house and play harmonicas and go running in the weeds and hide. I bet that would freak him out.
All right, let's start with a few of Barb's that we've done, some older ones, kind of get those done out of the way. I've cleaned them up. I don't know if everybody here's heard them or not, so
Hello
we'll
there,
try
Nanny
it out.
Boss. Welcome to the show.
We'll try it out.
Yeah, I agree. If I heard a harp too, yeah, I would flip. Hey, Russell Easterbrooks.
All right, now it's playing here. I just don't know if it'll work. So let me try it. Present, share screen. And okay, let's give it a shot. See if this goes through. I don't know if it will. Digital. Let's try this. All right, I'm gonna try it right now. Nope, that didn't work. Can you hear anything on your end or no?
No.
Nope, didn't think so.
I heard that.
Yeah, you're hearing it through my microphone is what it is. It's out loud. It's not coming through the stream. So, oh, you know what? Let me stop it. I forgot to check the stupid box. I don't know if that'll help or not.
Hello there, Diana. Welcome to the show.
Here we go.
Basically, I do not have that set up through YouTube. So what I have, ladies and gentlemen, it's just like YouTube. I have my GoFundMe, like you can set up through Facebook, where you can do stars. There you go. It's right there. I greatly appreciate that. 99 cents, $1, $2, however y'all want to do. I greatly appreciate it. Everything helps. There you go. I had to set up a GoFundMe for different things to help out. So, yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
You hear anything through it? I don't hear it either. I don't think it's going to work. Is that working?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it is. Okay. Let's.
And he went la la goodbye. Oh, look how sexy I am. Isn't that beautiful? Let me see if I can bring up the audio here myself here. Let me click an extra button here. Here we go. This way I don't look as big, and I'll flip here. And here he comes.
Whoops, wrong button.
I was looking all big and sexy there for a moment. I was like, woo!
All right, my audio working? Yeah, okay. It is. All right, so you're probably gonna have to pull it up on your end. I could either, I can just drop them into Messenger if that works, if that's easier for you, or do you want to try
That's
that?
fine. Messenger's fine.
Let's see if we can do that. This
Maria
one.
says you can just play them off your phone like I do, hold them up to the mic. But you're using your Bluetooth though, aren't you?
Yeah, it doesn't work that well. All right.
Let's see
There's a
here.
couple.
That sounds like a robot.
A robot. Those are some short ones. Now I don't know how you can, if you can turn it up on your end or not. I'm not really hearing much.
I haven't done anything yet. I'm
Oh,
bringing up
played it.
screens.
Check. Now play that last one again. Now listen to it. I call that one the counting grunts because it almost sounds like it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does it again. You hear it?
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Now, the next one I got for you came from Barb, and it came from a guy named Jack out in Oregon. And this is the one that's really cool. This one sounds a lot louder. You'll hear it better. He describes this as that this is a nonstop ground vibration that was going on while these wars were happening. He said they went through us and everything around us. This one time that our new tech had all the juices drained out of him, so his son had to run up to the house and get an old school Sears recorder that he had in the woodshed in order to get this audio. Isn't it odd that all their technology got drained? Things that make you go, All right, where the heck you at? Get the right screen up. All right, here. There's Jack's audio coming at you.
No, thank you. I would have been gone after about 15 seconds.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to describe it as this was nonstop ground vibration that went through us and everything around us. So imagine being there and actually hearing and feeling that.
That had to have been more than 8 or 9. More than that,
Yeah.
probably.
I think he said he had around 15, 17 minutes of that audio. He sent me 5 and then I knocked it down some. That's why there's some gaps in there. So I did do some filtering because there was some background. You can hear a little bit of people talking. Almost sounds like maybe a walkie-talkie or something going back and forth. But once I filtered some stuff out and enhanced it, it clipped a little bit of that part, but I got the important audio up, which is what we wanted to hear. It came out pretty good. It's pretty incredible.
And they were just standing there, like, just
they're just having conversation in the background. Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, wow. No, I mean, what do you do?
I'd be freaking out.
I'm sure they were.
I would not be just standing there. I mean, this was in the night, dark time, right?
911, what's your emergency? I got something screaming out here.
Was this at dark?
I don't know that yet. I'd have to ask Jack. So yeah, it was in the mountains in Oregon. He said he's got some high power lines that run through. He thinks that has something to do with it, but I don't know.
There's a question on the screen for you.
Let me get back to my other screen. Which one is that? Oh, what's it look like in the spectrograph? That I can share. You can at least see it, right?
This is all low hertz.
It's some lows and some highs, and some are like on top of each other. They're almost like simultaneous, like two different ones going. There's actually many of them that go, but let's see, open Jack's audio.
Nanoballs, I'll be like Rambo on damn steroids. That's what I would be. Hey, Lily, welcome to the show. I was just thinking about you a few minutes ago. How ironic. So it's not a PayPal link. I use the GoFundMe link. That way they can do the stars, like the 99 cents. Lily, the $2 or $3 or whatever amount they want to use. That's what I did. It was a lot easier for everybody. Lily. That's what I did. So
unfortunately we can't hear it as it goes, but all these streaks,
thanks,
these are the long roars. You'll see it kind of run through that spot right here. There's several of them. They're double and triple together. And you'll see just super long ones. The longer they are, the longer that streak runs. And then you'll see some streaks down low. Some that deep is the lower hertz. You can see the hertz scale right here. And that's pretty low for vocals. We're getting into 250. I mean, most vocals are around 3,000 to 5,000 most of the time. I don't know about how deep human voices get. I never really studied on that, but yeah, you see all these just come through. And these streaks, even up higher, like a higher pitched ones that lay right on top of the other ones. So they're doing them almost simultaneously. Like the big one would start and then the other ones would chime in and go at the same time. And here's a good view, but you can see the range they cover. And the back end, the last one part was pretty crazy. Just in general, you can just see all the different motion going on.
She wants to know any idea how many? What do you mean? Well, why are you calling them subjects? We're not talking about people we're taking to jail. We're not talking about, subjects. We're talking about creatures, Sasquatch, Bigfoots, whatever you want to call them. How many do you think they were? That sounds like a damn herd of them.
That sounded like a bunch of them. There's points where there's so many different, like towards the end especially, I mean, you just see all these different things going. It's crazy. If you sit there and listen to it over and over, you can point out a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you really can't even count it, to be honest with you. It's some of them are screams, high pitch, low pitch. They're all over the board. But yeah, you can see some of that. This lines right here is some walkie-talkie or something audio going on with these vertical lines running, but these horizontal lines are them making sounds. And then some of these odd or weird sounds that were going on too, like screams. Anyway, so that's what it looks like as far as a spectrogram. So that gives you like a vertical, and you can see the different frequencies, where here it's just a wavelength.
Damn, Lily, you're all right. That is my Cash App. How'd you find my Cash App? That's wild. She found my Cash App. Yes, Lily, that is my Cash App. Thank you. How'd you find that? That's ironic.
She hacked you.
Well, why would I ask a psychic? How does she know my Cash App? I mean, that's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, right. So, I thought I lost you again.
No,
yes,
you didn't.
Lily,
Not this time.
That's my Cash App. Thank you, hon.
All right, so
that flipped me out. I had to literally look that up. I was like, how'd she know that?
She's psychic after all.
Then she's a good psychic. Hey, you better think pure thoughts.
She gonna find out, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's good. She's a good one. All right, so we got these hoots. This is the next one we got is when we had Jay Free out and went out with us on our little expedition, and the birds went crazy.
Bigfoot and the two old conjurers here says, I'm the one who was there and got the goosebumps every time I heard it. Oh, it was weird, scary, captivating. Oh, if they got closer, got out there. It was just at sunset. So he's the one that recorded that?
Maybe. I don't know. What was the name on it? Let me pull it up. Jack, is that you? Is he Barb asking? It probably is. I gave him the link to the show, so he might have joined on. I told him
I was about to say, how in the world would you stand still trying to record something? There's no way I could have. I would have lost it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, that's incredible.
Right, I mean, can you imagine being out in the middle of the woods and hearing that surrounding you? No.
Oh, hell no. No, that wouldn't be fun. One's enough, but I mean, a whole tribe of them. I wonder what's going on there. It's like, did a big leader fall and a new leader take over, and now it's a big celebration or a big discord or whatever's going on? Makes you wonder why that's happening.
I don't know what I would have done, to be honest. If that was me, I really don't know what I would have done. I probably would have just jumped in the vehicle and just left everything out in the woods. I don't know. So
that's crazy. I don't know. I mean, just like when you see a Bigfoot, right? You don't know what you're going to do.
Did you want me to play something? I'm sorry.
I just sent it to you. Now this is the Jeffrey
John with people in the chat. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Let's see here.
Now you'll hear us talking.
He went over and then something made an impression. Another one? No.
That's Mike Aguilar, by the way. Yapping.
This is like, you know, it's like this is all new, so it's like exciting again. More exciting. Checking out a new spot in my phone.
You can hear the birds in the background already as it goes, and it gets louder.
I'm just waiting to see like a little kid. Looks like a little kid running by or something. Like, oh. We're not that far from that spot. To be honest, we can make it.
Oh, we're not?
Look at this shit.
Double break?
There's nothing, is anything on it?
And here's the red-shouldered hawk coming in to join them. And they're circling right above us.
They're telling on us. No, they're telling them they're here. They're here. Woo, 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 woo.
Red-shouldered hawk, too, coming in.
What the hell is going on right now, dude? Are we not in this place we're not supposed to be?
I don't know.
A little freaked out. Like, that's a little weird.
Now they stopped completely. He made that sound and they just stopped.
Okay, that's
All of them one time.
the branch is upside down into the ground, bro.
Now the hoot owls will start. Barred owls, I should say. There they are.
I told you, we're somewhere we're not supposed to be, guys. Woo! That's them, bro. That's them, guys. Bro, this isn't a joke, right there. Woo! We walked right in on some shit right here.
Forgot to censor that,
They're
sorry.
calling the troops. Bro, that's never happened like that.
That's
That's
wild.
the end of it. Can you play the MP4 file? I can't send it via Messenger, but it's Jay Free actually talking about it on his podcast, that whole scenario, and their take on it is pretty good. So I don't know if you can get it from the Google Drive or not. Actually, I might be able to send you a link. That makes it easier. I'll send you a link before, but track it down faster. So what do you think about that? How they were telling on us. I mean, there was a swarm of them. I've never seen birds do that right above us or anywhere really, other than seagulls, and you got a bag of chips maybe. Let's see. Yeah, you might find the link if you go back further up. Google Drive. Should be at the bottom now. I just sent it to you. So there's one on there called, it's an MP4. It's the only file. It's an MP4. It's a video file.
I shared the wrong screen. Stand by.
So it was really interesting how, if you really get to looking at the spectrogram on those barred owls that were hooting, there's two different ones at least, and one of them's really off. It doesn't look like the other barred owls at all. Makes you wonder if it's something mimicking a barred owl, or if it was just an old barred owl that was on his last days, or what it could be. I don't know. Or Bigfoot making a barred owl sound.
I made for the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group. That is Marie Dumont and her team, Mike, Chris, and Ruby, I think is the name of the other lady. She couldn't make it with us, but we did and I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, but we did they took me out to one of their research areas in mid-Florida. We went out last Saturday, and I interviewed those folks, and I put it all together into a little video with a little bit of some of the field work that we did. I've got a lot more of that video coming. But I wanted to get out the interview part of it anyway, get that out. So I put that out. I released it last night. So it's out on YouTube channel JFree906. And it is that one. If you guys haven't checked that out, please do check that out and let me know what you think. I get some comments on that one as well. It was very interesting. And I know I sent a clip to you of some of the audio.
Yeah.
And I had to have you analyze it. I was not aware of a barred owl and the sounds that it makes. We stepped into an area, and it was like we opened the door and walked outside, and all of a sudden the birds were just going nuts in this one area. I mean, quite a few crows,
Yep.
some sort of bird of prey that was flying around and squawking. There was barred owls going off. It was a cacophony of birds just not happy with us being in where we were. And what did you make out of that audio clip that I sent you?
Yeah. It was odd to have that many different birds. I mean, normally you get one alert bird, or tattletale, and Russ even had that at one point in one of the episodes where he's like, wait a minute, there's a bird off in the distance and it's squawking, and it's doing that because there's something there it doesn't like, and so he went off after it. But to hear that cacophony of multiple types of birds, and you said that was middle of the day.
Yeah,
that is a little
noon.
odd for an owl to be
That's what I thought too.
to be doing that call in the middle of the day. So yeah, what I kind of looked through on that was I got a sample barred owl call. That's the "Who Cooks for You" sound that it makes, so that I could see what that looks like in spectrogram, and use that as my basis to look at. There were at least two sounds that were owls or sounded like owls, and there was the one owl that was a very strong, very consistent with the sample that I had and matched very well. The other one wasn't so good. It was a little lower in pitch, and the pattern wasn't quite right. And so the primary one, I would say that was probably in fact an owl. But both of them were kind of a little bit further away. I don't know how close you were to them. That second one was, I can't say. Could be explained as being a juvenile owl that doesn't yet have a mature call. But as I've said before, when people talk about Bigfoot and Sasquatch mimicking sounds, they don't say always that they're good at it. In fact, some people think, some drunk guy in the woods trying to sound like an owl. So the fact that one didn't sound right, I would call that one inconclusive. I'm not going to call that an owl for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty fascinating. And again, owls in the middle of the day, that's odd. That's odd. Why you stirred up so many? Boy.
I don't know. They were and the owls were, I would say, at least about 100 yards away.
We couldn't even see them.
100 feet. but they were not close. And I was looking for them when they were going off, and I'm looking. I was trying to find them and see if I could see them, and there was no way. Now I did see the bird of prey as it flew by. I mean, it was circling us, and that clip doesn't have everything in it. I basically just kept what had the hooting going on. But I mean, that bird of prey was circling. He was flying right down low, and then the crows going off, and that bird going off, and then the hoots. It was wild. It really was. And I listened to those hoots very close, and I know the one you're talking about because it almost to me sounded like there was a little bit of a gruff in that hoot. It was trying to, but it was like a little bit like, to me, I kind of envisioned either somebody was mimicking, or it was an old owl that didn't quite have his vocal capacity anymore or something, because it just
lived
didn't
a rough
sound.
life.
Yeah, he had a rough life. But anyway, so it was about noon in the daytime. So I don't know, but it was definitely interesting. So if you haven't checked that out, folks, let me know what you think.
All right. So with that fresh on your mind, what they were talking about there at the end with the mimicking, and may not be very good. We were on a podcast earlier today, and somebody shared with us another one I just sent to you that just rings a bell. I mean, just put it on and you'll see what I'm saying.
Let's see here.
It's in the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a drunk owl, or it sounds like a Bigfoot trying to be an owl. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely not an owl. I can tell you that. I mean, it sounds like it has too much bass for an owl coming out of it vocally. I don't know. Those are the things that make you go, and the mystery continues, right? It's the stuff that draws you back and you can't answer. You know, a lot of things that we find and discover or hear or see that we can't explain. Can't explain them away. It's there. We don't know why or what it was, but something.
Standing stones.
What's he saying now?
Sounds like the night I drank some Southern Comfort.
Stay away from that stuff.
At least it wasn't Fireball.
Yeah, that's even worse.
So,
Pretty clear.
Can you imagine just being out in the middle of the woods and hearing something like that? I mean, no.
Even that last one would be like, what the hell was that? I mean, we've heard stuff. You do come across these things. If you're out there long enough, you're going to hear them. And we've heard gruffs and grunts, and Marie and I heard a scream one night that was like blood curdling scream out of nowhere. And we don't know what it was, but
look, Catherine said her dog was sitting on her husband's lap when she was watching this on the TV and sat up and listened. So even the dog knows something was up.
Yeah,
see?
I was like, what in the hell? Some interesting stuff, guys. I was going to get the Sierra Sounds down, and I didn't have time to get it, but maybe we'll share that on another episode. But anyway, so what do you think of all that? I think you'd be out on your porch firing away all your ammo.
I told you, I'd be Rambo on steroids. I mean, I couldn't imagine being out there hearing all those sounds around me. Let's just say a minimum a dozen creatures. You know, I mean, did they not realize that they were people there and they were just having like a family reunion or something?
That's what I was thinking on my mind. I was like, is this a celebration, or are they Are they mourning the death of something? I mean, you can't tell if they're happy or those calls were crazy. I mean, it was just like a party going on, though, right? I mean, it had to be a bunch of them, and the way he described it was it's incredible that you could just feel it. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of that.
We already got bear cocaine out of Lexington, where I came from, right? Now we got shark cocaine. Then we got raccoon cocaine. Now we got crack squat. I can't even say it without laughing.
Now we're gonna have like a Sharknado cocaine freaking thing going on. Who knows?
I thought you was gonna say nanobots. That's what I thought you was gonna say. Well, that's awful.
No, we're going there. I like it.
I like to know if that was Jack, because he didn't say. He said that person said that he had whatever he said when he was recording it.
Yeah, it's probably him. Like I said, I gave him the link earlier, so told him to join. Yeah, Bigfoot and the two old codgers.
But I want to know what was going through their mind when they were hearing that.
I don't know, but it'd be a cool interview. Maybe we could get them to come on and talk. It'd be awesome. I'd like to hear more of that story. It'd be cool.
So what'd they say? Did they pack up and leave, or did they just hang out and be like, hey, let's open up another beer?
Didn't have, I had to cut out the end because somebody was dropping an F-bomb. So, so somebody was like, it had to do with getting out of here. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they were thinking the same thing.
Where was that? Colorado, you said?
That the big audio was Jax was from Oregon.
Oh, there he is. Look. There he is. Yes, Barb, it's me. I kept getting interrupted. It's dinner time here. And I'm trying to keep up and eat and give me the eyes because it's a bad example for grandkids.
Being on the electronics during dinner. That's good. Keep your manners.
How in the world did you just sit there or stand there and record that? That's my question. What was going through your mind? That's what I want to know.
I was about to say the same thing. What were you guys thinking? What was
that? Is what I want to know. What was you all thinking? So, because that's probably the best audio that I've heard besides Ron Moorhead. I put that right up there.
Mm-hmm. I would say so. Yeah, I'd put it against it. It's pretty incredible, especially at the beginning and towards the end. There's some spots in there just insane, and you can hear the power behind it, which is weird. Even a recording like that, you can almost sense that power that's behind those yells.
Hey, Lauren, welcome to the show. You know what I would have done? I would have screamed and see what would have happened. I don't know. I take that back. I don't know if I would have done that. I'd probably have been too scared.
You can invite the party over.
Yeah, I probably would have screamed, right? And then they'd probably been like, "What the hell was that?" And there's humans out here. Everybody, and then they probably all would have came. Then I would have really died.
I'm not all about screaming and yelling because you don't know what you're saying to them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I take it back. I probably wouldn't have. I'll take it back.
You might be saying, "Hey, I'm sleeping with your Bigfoot wife," and you get the Bigfoot man coming over to.
Hey, Ron said, "Do not call blast because you do not know what you're saying to them."
I agree with that.
So.
And doing the stuff that we do out, Marie will bring out her singing bowl, and you can make noises and do stuff. It can attract them, but
Oh
I'd
yeah.
be careful. I'd be careful with
Oh
call
yeah.
blast.
Yeah, 12 plus whatever you want to call them in the woods. You're going to bring out a Tibet bow. Oh, the hell with that.
She would. She would. I know she would.
No, she wouldn't have. I would have broke the damn thing.
You don't know
like,
Marie
you
very well.
ain't making a damn noise. I'd have like, Chris, get the duct tape. She ain't moving. Nope. She is not moving. She ain't banging on nothing, banging on trees. She ain't getting no flashlights, no bells, no tinkers. She would. I can see her getting out Tibet ball going hum.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then I can imagine the whole forest just get real quiet. No,
We get some reactions out there with it. Birds go. There's actually some bird, whippoorwill, that's out in the green swamp that goes crazy when we play it.
There you go. You got a message there, Chris.
Very good. I'm willing to take a listen. And then I can even, a lot of times I can filter it. And if there's background noise, I can get that out of there or at least clean it up a little bit. Brian,
I've been told that you don't have a choice if you're surrounded. If they have their mind made up, it's up to them what they want to do to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guarantee that, and they know it too.
So yes,
which is what leaves you the knowledge that okay, they must not all be bad, because if they were all bad, they would just go around killing everybody all the time. You know, they leave people alone. They yell at hunters to get out of their area. They don't always kill them. They don't. I mean, I'm sure there's some that go. I'm sure there's some the missing 401s have to do with it. So, and they are what we know as part human, right?
See, look, Thomas says I had a person who called blast and got crap thrown at him. See?
Yep. Nope. Don't do it.
I told you what I do with my call blaster, the new one I bought. That's Bluetooth. I would hang it from a tree as far as I could. See, I like to test it, how far I could remote it, right? Bluetooth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would Bluetooth that and put a phone and walk it. Say I can hang a speaker like 80 yards, in a tree, and walk 80 yards away with the phone and blast
from a distance, play it.
Yes, and see what happens, and put a bunch of cameras, because I've got cameras that don't have infrared on it. I got some of those new cameras that don't have the infrared stuff on it. So,
it gets me is they know how to disable that stuff, though. I mean, we've heard so many accounts of audio recorders being turned off.
Yes.
Even Jack here, explained that the newer technology got shut off. They had to go get an old recorder in order to catch that. So makes you wonder why.
Nanaval says it's already been vetted by Doug about Dave Ellis about the Olympic project. What's that? I must have missed that one. You know anything about that one?
Nah, I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah, you're going to explain that one. See, look at Brian. I did a call blast for a friend, and he sent me a huge log, hit my truck, and almost blew out my back window. What the hell was you blasting, Jimmy Buffett?
He's blasting, I don't have peanut butter for you. And they got mad at him.
But see, I have 32 trail cams, and I have different makes and models, some of the newer ones that are not IR. And I know that they don't like cameras. I know that, ladies and gentlemen. But the theory of mine is that you put them on cam, and put them up high. Eventually, I don't know. It's just a theory. It probably never will work, but yeah, that is scary. See, that's my luck. I'll get a mean one. That's my problem, because every time I think I don't have enough ovaries to go out in the woods by myself anymore. Every time I think I got the courage, you know, all the Cherokees and the indigenous people, they tell me, don't go out in the woods by yourself. Never go out alone. So,
just listen to your psychics. They'll probably tell you the same thing anyway.
Brian, do you really use peanut butter too?
That was his story. Remember, I watched that podcast, and it was Brian. He's the one that had the Sam's.
That's the one with the one he had to break it off and it stunk up his truck.
Mm-hmm. We love you, Brian. We talk about you all the time.
Brian, I did not know that was you right offhand.
He has a that was a hell of a service or public service announcement, though. But
yes, I do. I remember that now. I told you I was slow today.
Yeah, that's on Brian. That was a good show to watch. I mean, it was actually enlightening. I mean, you don't think about that, and a lot of people gift out there, and it could be a bad idea. I mean, what he was doing was a consistent thing on top of it, and I think that's where it really led to problems because they got used to it.
He responded, I found here call blasting and tree knocking will what do you say?
It get cut off or
I want to know what was going through your mind when you was recording that.
Like, we're all going to die. That's what I'm thinking. We're all going to die.
I mean,
I
just
is going to happen?
Believe, Thomas, I'm taking you up on that. You and I are going out in the woods. So we're not going to tell anybody where we're going to go. Yeah, Brian is the guy with the peanut butter. I remember who he is, Barb, now. Yeah. I'll never forget Brian. Brian, I talk about Brian almost every Bigfoot show that we do. I don't mean to laugh, Brian. It's not funny. It really
we learned a lot. We learned a lot from him on that.
Yes, a lot of people.
Because he proved what can go wrong, you know?
The funniest thing about Brian's story is, and the reason why it's funny is the game warden, the Fish and Wildlife, they call them grizzly bears. And they would never call them Bigfoot or Sasquatch. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
That and the feces.
Yeah, that part of the freezer. Yeah, that's
yeah.
The funniest part. What are you planning on doing? What are you planning on doing with that? You still got it? Need to send that
you know what? That's like a good DNA sample for the project.
Mm-hmm. It's got plenty of DNA in that.
So, no, I know you do, Brian. We love having you on the show. So yeah. Who is from Oregon? Would love to get out and see what we can show you. We'll try to go out often. Damn. What? Look at here. He's already sent out the invitations. We ain't even got an answer. We want to know what was going through your mind when you was recording it.
He goes out a lot. He sent me some pictures.
Tammy, I would like to be vetted at least one or two more people before I release it. It's a unique piece of audio. Oh, damn. She's got some audio. It must be some good stuff then.
Sounds like
Brian's coming back in September for an update. Open the door show. Good. Hey, Sean. Welcome back. How you doing? Rebecca, I was scared of the guys, the stills in the woods in Kentucky. No way I go with them now. It's still in my freezer.
I'm more worried about the Stillers.
I cannot believe it's still in your freezer. Does your wife know that you got Bigfoot poo-poo in your freezer? Ladies and gentlemen, Brian has got Bigfoot poo-poo in his freezer. Yes. And his wife don't know about it. But I still can't get over that.
She's gonna make him some leftover meatloaf one day. Grab the wrong thing. What is this?
She is bedbound. She has no clue. Oh, Brian. Man, somebody terrible. Is. I hope you have it marked, do not eat, not edible or something. And Thomas says she does now. But you know, it's in the freezer. Yes, next to the food, Nana Boss. Yes, it was so big.
He had to break it.
It was so big, he had to break it.
And he put it in a bag, and then it stunk up his truck for 3 days.
For 3
That's
days.
I remember. That's what he said.
Can you imagine how many Christmas trees he had to hang up in his rearview mirror?
Oh man, probably a whole couple packs of them.
But when he told us that story, I about fell out because, I mean, he was being serious. I mean, he was talking about how big it was. Yes, we said more than that. No, Brian, don't send us a picture. Oh, my God.
That's
Then look, I already got flagged on YouTube. Okay, I'm already talking to YouTube about that. I don't know why. That's all I need to be flagged about YouTube by Bigfoot. I can't even talk.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot fecal matters, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yes. But there's allegedly a lot of people out in the woods that claim that they came across it, but it's actually been bear scat or moose or something big, but not Bigfoot. But Brian, has been feeding these creatures for a long time with his peanut butter. Matter of fact, since a lot of people that don't know his story, maybe we should. Barb said we're having him on our show or her show.
Open the door, she said.
Okay,
an update, which is fine. It doesn't matter. Any of the shows is good.
Now, first, a fushu poo poo shake. What are you talking, Rebecca? You talking French on me now? So, Brian and I am put it all out there, including Bigfoot poo, or scat. And you know what? As much as you fed them, I would not be surprised if you actually do have legit Bigfoot scat. Yes. How about a Bigfoot? What do you want? You want a sliver of it? I mean, what?
All right, let's make a contest here for some Bigfoot.
I mean, are we gonna do one of those little pinwheels, put everybody's names on it, and hit a button, and give free
good Lord.
Poo away? I mean, look, Brian's laughing. I'm glad Brian's laughing. I mean, I'm surprised that the Men in Black's not shutting us down right now. The 2-letter agencies.
They could be on. Oh, they're knocking on the door for his poop.
Oh, Thomas, I am not going to look at another popsicle thing now. And I just sent Chris right before the show a list of guidelines with YouTube.
I think we broke half of them tonight.
All the other platforms were good, but YouTube has got this list that we have to abide by, right?
And we broke half of those tonight, I think. Just about.
We probably did. Well, yeah, we actually probably did. So,
the problem is when they flag you, they don't even tell you why or where it is. They don't even give you details. So it's like they can just say whatever and flag you.
Look at Tammy. Tammy's jumping on the bandwagon. What is it? Well, y'all are just in the mood. Y'all are just something else tonight. You know how big, I can just, I used to have a scooper for my chihuahuas. I cannot imagine a scooper for that.
Right?
It wouldn't even fit the way Brian described it. Yeah, it would have to be.
A snow shovel, yeah.
2 snow shovels, like chopsticks or something.
Oh, man.
Who's just put in the ditch? You just put in the ditch.
Brian's trying to do $5 in the PayPal, so he's trying to raffle or auction it off now. That'll be next to be on eBay.
I guarantee you,
he makes money on it.
Somebody would probably pay $1 million for that.
I'm sure they pay some money. I don't know about $1 million, but
I guarantee.
There's some stupid people out there, so you never know.
So, And Russell says, I'm just watching. Oh, my Lord, Russell. Our Father that art out in heaven, please forgive them. I'm sorry, Russell. And Russell, I hope you are just dying and laughing right now. But Russell, just type yes or no. Do you know the story about Brian? Yes or no?
Have you heard the story?
Yeah. Have you heard the story about Brian?
Poor Russell.
Yeah. I just need to know if Russell Easterbrooks has heard the story. I can't do it without laughing. Yeah, oh, you have heard the story. Okay.
Good.
Get the crucifix. Now, last time I got the crucifix out, Thomas, my computer went black. So,
for the DNA.
That's
exactly
what I'm saying, Tammy. So there's actually Barb Hartman. Who's doing the DNA test right now? Chris. It's Robin and yeah, who's doing the DNA test? Barb Hartman.
Somebody's doing one currently. I mean, I know
Barb Hartman.
David Pilates has done some, but I don't know who else is doing it there right now.
Barb Hartman. Who's doing the DNA test right now? They're doing a GoFundMe and a PayPal and everything else. No, not you. I know, but we had him on the show. Melvin Ketchum, that's one, and there's somebody else that's doing it with her.
She was the first one that started doing it.
I thought somebody else was doing it with her. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Darby that's it. That's right. Nana Boss is right. Nana Boss. Robin, right? Robin. That's it. Marty. That's right. Okay, that's right. That's right. So for sure, his wife doesn't need it now or be sold. But can you imagine now? I mean,
you sold my Bigfoot poop. I can't believe you sold my Bigfoot poop. She auctioned it off behind his back. That's something else. Chumley for Pawn Stars.
I'll pay $1 for that.
I'm sure somebody would pay some money for it because, it's still more hard evidence. That's hard to get a hold of. I mean, any kind of DNA from a Sasquatch is hard to get a hold of.
They solved a 20-year-old plus case in Charlestown, Indiana, a murder and rape case for touch DNA.
DNA, right? Yeah, they just they did one that was 30 touch, like just touching something.
Touch DNA, yes.
No.
Yeah, they sure did.
Because of residual oils or whatever.
Yeah. All right. So what's going to be your topic for next week?
What do y'all want to talk about? Throw it out there. We can do a mixed bag again.
Crazy Witch, I'm coming to your house with a bunch of harmonicas. I'm going to have a cymbal with a string attached to it, a guitar, and some 2x4s, and we're going to play knick-knack, paddywhack on your house.
Tucker said Bigfoot's real. I didn't catch that.
Really? I didn't catch that either.
Anything Tucker says is real. I do like Tucker. He's good.
So what's a good topic, ladies and gentlemen, for the UNA bombers DNA off fragments of a stamp? Oh, Unabombers DNA off the fragments of a stamp. Yes, I think you're right. I think they did do that. So, but they got the guy in Charleston and Indiana off touch DNA, which touch DNA has been out for some time, but they didn't publicly announce it for a while.
So this is something they took lifted fingerprints and then was able to use that.
No, swab. Yep. So that's skin cells and everything else. Yeah. So I tell you, what would be a good subject that's really been hitting a lot of people's plates lately, and that ties into 411, and that's the Appalachian wild man.
Isn't that just Bigfoot?
Well, that's
Or
the
is there something different?
question. They think it is part, maybe it is Bigfoot, but they also think it's humans that have lived off the grid for generations, like the movies The Hills Have Eyes, and they're cannibals. And allegedly, one of the park rangers found out that they found a cave with a bunch of skeletons in it, and I think the head
I
ranger
think I've heard about that.
found out, and they knew about it, and he couldn't deal with it, and I think he ended up committing suicide over it.
Didn't they
Because
shut
people were,
the cave down?
yes, I think they imploded it or something. Or something. So I think that would be something that we should probably look into and see. Feral Man is what it's called.
Feral Man. Okay.
I know there's a lot of reports out of Harlan, Kentucky. People seeing this person or humans or creatures digging through trash. So they're disfigured, and I can also explain about talking about the psychics. A couple of psychics asked about the Appalachian Trails too, about missing 411s. So what do you think, Tammy? You like that? That'd be a great topic. Yeah, when I first watched that movie, Rebecca, I said that's why I always carry extra ammo and extra firepower. That is a bad movie. Yeah, I still get chills thinking about that. But this is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. This is not. I don't think this is fabricated. There's a lot of reports. Russell, I don't know. Have you ever Why Bigfoot Walks a Straight Line? That's another good one. That's something else we can look at too, Russell. Russell, have you heard about the feral man, feral people of the Appalachian area, Appalachian Trail? Have you ever heard of that before, Russell? Sean, The Hills Have Eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never watched that movie, I suggest you watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't think the second one or the third one's that good. No, Russell, you haven't? Oh, wow. Russell, I would probably look into that. They don't know if it's a crossbreed between Bigfoot and humans, or if it's just humans living off the grids or inbreds. Yes,
inbred Bigfoots that are hillbilly Bigfoots now.
Right. So
and cannibals are I mean, that's scary just thinking about that, right?
But we need to find out. I wonder how we can trace down the articles about that park ranger. I know a couple people I can probably reach out to and see that probably can maybe lead us in the right direction. But the Hills Have Eyes. It's not for the faint of heart movie, people.
It's a horror movie, horror flick, basically.
Yeah, it really is, but it really makes you. Thomas says did an investigation of feral humans in East Tennessee last year. So Thomas, how did that come out? Because there's a lot of reports out of Tennessee, Virginia, the Carolinas, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky. So a lot of people are blaming a lot of missing people on them, allegedly. I don't know. So we'll look into that, and also
if they're missing, it's hard to really confirm that. But it's still there's got to be something going on there.
Yeah, we'll look at that and look at what Russell said. Why does Bigfoot walk in a straight line? I think that's another good one too, because that comes up a lot too. A lot of people ask that.
Yeah, it might be just a anatomy type of thing. I don't know if there's a lot to figure out about it. There's another topic I wanted to touch base, and Nona Boss and I were talking about it the other night, is mind speak. It's becoming a word thrown around there more often, or more lately. Just people being communicated.
That's another good movie, William. Don't Make the Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn movie. That's another good one.
Yeah, that is just called Wrong Turn, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mind Speak's pretty cool sounding. I mean, people have had experiences where they go out in the woods and be directly communicated. Like their mind gets filled with information of some sort, whether if it's about a topic or whatever. It's just an interesting thing. So it's kind of been going around a little bit. So that might be another topic we can kind of brush on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Send me some information what you got on that when you're talking about Feral Man, and I'll do some deep diving on it and see what.
Yeah, I'll reach out to a couple of people that I know that's we talked to or I've talked to before on it, and see what they can send me in the right direction. It's pretty creepy because, and like I said, allegedly the guy took Ron Peanut and Pooh Man be August 17th.
He's not Pooh Man. Don't call him that, Barb. Jeez. He's becoming that though, right?
Oh my gosh.
We love you, Brian.
Well, thank you, Tammy. Greatly appreciate that. But yeah, we'll have something for you next show, and hopefully y'all have a good night. And thanks, Brian, for the good laughs. I said Jack still never answered our question.
No, I'll have to hit him up on I've got him on Messenger, so maybe Barbara can get it out of him. Maybe we can get him on to talk. That'd be awesome. One of our shows. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would be.
But not everybody does that stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for Coast to Coast and around the world, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week.
Night.
Take care. Night. Godspeed. Bye-bye.